I want Anali to tell her dad about us, but anything that's difficult in her mind, she just avoids it. She likes to go to the bathroom and lock the door. She likes to shut down. She likes to give me ultimatums.
Estoy hasta el límite y hasta al tope de que quiero tirarlo todo y que me gustaría ir a casa a abrazar a mi madre. Ay, Clayton, ¿sabes qué?
Alright, cool. Anali, and Clayton. You know what though? I won't lie to you. I had my own opinions on Clayton to begin with, you know. Now I'm starting to think that maybe I was wrong. I'm starting to feel sorry for the guy, to be honest. I'm not really starting to feel as if he's the bad person in the relationship. I mean, I'm not saying Anali was ever the good one, to be honest with you. I just always found Clayton a bit off key. And I still do to a certain degree, but now he's starting to kind of change my mind a little bit. Just a little bit. So in this scenario here, we got Anali. Last episode, Clayton literally said, when are you going to tell your dad about me? We're getting married, but your dad doesn't know about me. In this episode, he comes out to pretty much explain, you know, come on, you know, listen, I need you to tell him. But obviously, when it comes to Anali now, whenever Clayton brings up the conversation about the dad, she runs away and then starts complaining, and then she's always like, well, maybe we shouldn't be together, which is something that we saw here. Literally, she ran away and locked herself in the freaking toilet. Why? Grow up. Be an adult. You see what I'm saying? And I can understand why Clayton would have reservations about going forward with her, given her attitude is like this. You know what though? Let me not say too much more. Now let's get into the rest of what goes down here. But hey, don't forget to like the video though. Come on now. Support the channel. Yes.
Si no me vas a entender o nada, no sé si no respetas mis decisiones, mejor terminar.
The fact that she even sat there and said, I prefer breaking up rather than telling my dad is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Who says that? The only person who says that is somebody that's not bothered about being with you. Personally, if it was me, the second somebody would have opened those words, I prefer breaking up, I'd have been like, okay, bye, I'm gone. As much as it's good to reassure people sometimes, this isn't one of those situations. This isn't about reassurance. This is about what's right. You're about to marry a man who doesn't, and your father doesn't know about him. And you're upset that he wants your dad to know. She should respect him for wanting her to tell her dad. She should respect the fact that he's willing to gamble to lose you just so your dad knows. Because then that tells you how much of a man he really is. It tells you that, listen, I don't give a damn about the consequences. I don't want to marry until your dad at least knows about me, because come on, the right thing to do. Now, of course, that can be very subjective depending on what relationship somebody has with their father, of course. Because her father is very, very close to him, this is why it's important for him to also let her know. But also at the same time, though, there are other reasons of why he wants the dad to know. And we're about to find out what they are right now.
I cannot imagine that it's that big of a deal to throw away over 2 years of a relationship. I'm not even asking for that much. It's been over 2 years. Just tell your parents you're in a relationship. I don't know how else to say it. She knows my history with not being shared. That ends up being a cheating situation. I just notice patterns, and it's really an easily resolvable thing for me, but okay.
Boom. Man has a history of being in a relationship before and being hidden. And the reason why he was hidden is because the person he was with was cheating him. Therefore, if Anali's showing his patterns, it makes sense for him to want to make sure that dad knows about him. It's bigger than just the dad knowing. It's so he needs to know that he's been acknowledged. He needs to know that he's a real person in her life. He needs to know he's not marrying someone who is just there for him for the sake of it. I really do appreciate the backbone that Clayton brings to the table, because if you look at someone like Gino now, Gino doesn't have a backbone. He lets Jasmine walk all over him all the time. This guy has shown me that maybe he isn't as desperate as I thought. I thought he was desperate to just have someone in his life, but he's not that desperate. So I like the fact that he's been like, no, we need to push this. You know what? Shout out to him. And this is where I'm like, you know what? Now I'm starting to change my tone a little bit, because this is a guy who's been hurt before and he's just trying to not be hurt again. So I respect him for doing that. So maybe I was a little bit wrong about him. A little bit dodgy though, but yeah.
Pues al menos, no sé, una foto de nosotros una vez.
Solo quiero hacerte feliz. Voy a hacerlo. Comentando de que le fueron infiel en una relación pasada y lo estuvieron ocultando. En este momento me doy cuenta de que publicar una foto para él es tan importante.
It is wild though, isn't it? We live in this world where, you know, posting a photo of you and your person is such a key thing these days, you know? That is very, very strange. But I do understand it. You know, for some people, it's a big thing, and it's a big thing for traumatic reasons. And if that's the case, I get it, completely get it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not a position that I'd ever put myself in personally. You know, I mean, yeah, like why the hell would I want to put? Nah, it's just weird to me. Like, I don't need clarification of somebody putting me on their page. So just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but obviously I don't have that kind of trauma, so it is what it is. But I'm happy that, like I said before, Clayton has decided to pushes. So it's good that this has finally happened, you know, and it's good that Anali's finally kind of come around. But also at the same time, though, just because she's made a post, it doesn't mean that that's going to see him. So it'll be interesting to see if at some point by the time the season's over, if we're going to finally see an appearance from the dad and her actually telling the dad that, hey, this is my man. If it doesn't happen on the show, hopefully it's going to happen at the tell. Because to be honest with you, I'll be very disappointed if the season ends and we haven't seen the dad's interaction with her telling him that, hey, this is my man, and guess what, we're married. Or guess what, we're getting married. And to be honest with you, most girls who are close to their father usually want their father to walk them down the aisle, and that part is always going to bother me because it makes me wonder what her actual intentions are, you know. But because Annalise, she's a bit confusing. I feel like sometimes her intentions look like they're real, but then sometimes I'm like, I don't know though, you know. And now obviously I'm not saying her dad I'm not saying her dad would be able to fly over there and, you know, be whatever you call it. I'm not saying that, but it's interesting that she hasn't really made that a thing, you know what I mean? Considering how close she is to her dad. Hey, we continue.
No es una opción por ese momento porque no puedo pagar para yo, tú, mi mamá.
Darnos con su mamá a San Diego, se me para el corazón un poco. Que vamos a ponerla en otro closet.
You know what? I'm so sorry. You know what? Let me just go back to that local bit there, because you guys didn't see that local line, little end line at the bottom there. This one here. What are you going to do? Put her in another closet? That shit's made me laugh. But to be honest with you, that is crazy though. She's talking about, oh, San Diego's nice, and he's like, well, we couldn't afford it, and also me, you, and my mom. Like, bruh, you can't tell me you're expecting your mom to be living with you and your woman for the rest of your life. Like, if you're going to be moving out, your mom can't come with you. Okay? It's new beginnings. You'll be a married man, hopefully, at the time you've moved out. It has to be just you and your woman. Especially if you both got plans of maybe having kids as well. I don't know. But having your mom, come on now. Come on, bro. Don't do that. This is why I still say there's something a little bit about him. You know what I mean? But I'm not surprised that her heart stopped the second he said it. She didn't come here to be with you and your mom. I mean, for a man that's always complaining about the fact that she isn't giving him the that was so freaking weird. But for a man that's always complaining about it, think about it, bro. If you really want to get funky all the time, mommy's gotta go. As long as mommy's there, you're always gonna get less of it. And you know what's gonna happen too? You're always gonna have to pay up to stay in a freaking hotel or something just so you can get the Make that make sense. Like, at that point, it's like you're basically paying for a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're literally paying to go somewhere to sleep with your woman. Like, that's just weird. It's weird. The only thing is you're not paying her. You're just paying the building services. So no, I used the wrong word. It's like basically when you're a teenager, right? Or you're in your early 20s and you're going at clubbing or all that kind of stuff, and you want to find somewhere for a one-night stand or whatever. What do? You pay for a little hotel, you know what I mean? Yeah. Let me take back the word that I used, the P word now. Man, the fact is he needs to grow up and kick his mum out of the house. It's just that simple. Or we can say closet. But hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what you're thinking. Peace.